You might think I'm just horsing around, but that's not the case. Some folks suggested this, and I've done some reading about how water behaves when transported in tankers. I mean, even in this case, it's quite obvious that when the water bottle is full, everything is just fine. But when you fill it just halfway, that's when things get dicey. The car is just super eager to flip over the front bumper, the rear bumper, and so on. And the idea for this episode would be conducting a full-scale experiment. We'll take a car, a Lada to be exact, install a tank, fill it with water, drive around, drain half of it, and see how it behaves. Because an RC vehicle is one thing, but an actual full-sized car is something totally different. And here's what we've come up with. We've fitted this enormous water tank. The volume is pretty impressive. So once we start filling it, that's going to add a lot of weight, up to 3 tons once we fill it all the way. That's why we've added some heavy-duty springs, which aren't necessarily for a Lada. But then even if it falls onto the bump stops, no worries, it'll be fine. You'll recall how when we poured 2.5 cubic meters worth of cement into a car, it was still able to drive despite weighing as much as it did. If you didn't see that episode, make sure to check it out. You might even want to subscribe. Our experiments can be pretty interesting. Anyways, so the tank is situated more or less within the track, which is about right, I mean. We're not going to place it so that it protrudes ridiculously beyond the track width. No, this is on point, where it would be on a vehicle that transports liquids. We're at the test track, we've placed some cones in a slalom formation, and also we got a braking pocket. And I really want to try and see how it'll behave. Obviously with the slalom, the car is going to rock back and forth on an empty tank. And yeah, that's the sort of effect I expect to experience. Okay, let's start with a brake test. We won't be going too fast, even though we've done quite a bit of reinforcement. So accelerate, brake, then we do the slalom. And that should give us an understanding as to how liquid is going to behave when transported inside this sort of tank. Right, for starters, let's evaluate braking performance. I think 40 Ks should suffice, seems like a decent speed. Stopped pretty well for an older Lada. Stopping distance? 12 meters, huh? That's quite a lot, I mean, from that speed, the car should stop after about 5 meters. Or maybe 7. So it should have stopped somewhere around there. But we have a baseline with the empty tank. And now I'm going to navigate that slalom at the same speed. Okay, so now we slalom. Yeah, the inertia is real. And that's after I eased off the gas. What a hooligan this is. The rear end is doing this sort of shuffle, but the car's still planted, which is quite nice. Okay guys, we have filled the tank. And this is quite a rocket ship, this is. Rear tires are crushed, front end elevated, and I'm quite curious as to how this is going to handle. I'm just going to go for a drive to see how this behaves. It was all good when I was driving a cement-filled car, but let's see what happens with the car carrying water. I absolutely do not know what to expect. I need to get up to 40 kilometers an hour. But how do you even do that? Something tells me I won't even be able to. Alright. What, you scared? Here we go. It is struggling, but is that really surprising? With how much load it's carrying. 32, 33, brake. Yeah, I was pressing the pedal with all of my strength. Okay, let's measure the stopping distance. I was only able to get up to 30. 40 is just too much. The car just becomes uncontrollable. It's sort of all over the freaking place. It just doesn't want to listen to you at all. How am I going to navigate the slalom? So from 30 kilometers an hour, the stopping distance amounted to 10 meters. That's where the second cone is placed. When empty, it took 12 meters to stop from 40. Yeah, the stopping distance has increased quite significantly. I was pressing the brake pedal really hard. The car just kept rolling, and it wouldn't stop. But the main problem is that I couldn't get up to 40 Ks with the full tank. And I still need to do the slalom. But let's try navigating it at the highest speed where it's able to be somewhat controllable, and see what happens. Let's get to it. I caught that. I don't know what just happened. Neither do I, but I recorded it. Something just happened, don't know what to make of it. Oh, you think we broke a spring? I don't even know what to make of this. Above 20 kilometers an hour, that's when problems with handling begin. This is just terrific. Once I get above 20 kilometers an hour or thereabouts, that's when things start to get, well, I mean, you get a lot of body roll, and the car becomes very unruly. Okay, let's try this at 25 kilometers an hour. Very nice, nailed it. Even with the tank full of water, you do get some lean, but it's not horrible. The car does stabilize itself handily, as in when you get level, the car just goes where you want it to go. I get the feeling that no matter where you point the front end, one of the front wheels is coming off the ground. Yeah, one of the front wheels definitely just came off the ground. Am I right with my assessment? Yeah, I literally felt it lift off and hit the tarmac. But then we have loaded the car up to the gills. The highest I could get up to in the slalom was 30 kilometers an hour. I could not get it up to 40. With how little load the front axle is under and how severely the rear end is loaded up. That makes the car very unstable. In any case, you can sort of steer it. Here I am navigating the slalom, I turn, then I straighten out and there is no wobble. But our main objective was to do some tests with a half-full tank. Will it tip over, will it not? Well, let's empty half of the tank, that should bring the speed up. I might even be able to get up to 40 kilometers an hour. And from there, well, yeah, we're gonna see what happens. Let's do this. Half-filled tank. Okay, 30. And things have gotten squirrely. 40. Oh, holy cow. Did you see how the front end jumped after we came to a stop? Holy cow. 10, 20, 25 meters. So with the empty tank, it took me 12 meters to brake from 40 kilometers an hour, right? Right now, with the tank half full, that would be an extra ton of weight. Of water, perhaps a tad more. And the stopping distance increased to 25 meters. Okay, now it's time for the slalom. I'm so scared, but let's get this party started. I mean, why shy away, right? Okay, slalom time. So I'm taking it slow, but this is still very sketchy. The car is leaning like crazy. Yeah, let's keep this at 25. Car is all over the place. I was just so freaked out that I couldn't help but ease off the gas pedal. 30. Holy moly. All I did was turn the wheel this way, that way, and that resulted in something wild happening. And I was only going 30 kilometers an hour, that's it. Didn't even get up to 40. I guess I should try at least making it to the third cone, right? Let's go. Okay, I see 33 kilometers an hour. Did I navigate the cone? No, I didn't. Or did I? I can't keep the throttle pinned. I need to let off to stabilize the car. To keep it from oversteering. And I just can't bring myself to keep pushing it. Let's go. Stop revving. You alright, dude? I'm good. So this is pretty interesting, I'd say. This is serious stuff, and I think this would have given you a good understanding. The reason tankers take it easy is, well, the tanks themselves are equipped with all sorts of baffles and what have you, and other tricks to keep the transported liquid from splashing around, and to keep the vehicle from flipping over. But let's say you placed some barrels containing liquid that are half full or fully full into the cargo bay of whatever you are driving. Well, be prepared that something like this might happen to you. So yeah, guys, be careful, because transporting liquids is not a laughing matter. Not something you should joke around with. Anyway, make sure to sub, we've got a bunch of interesting experiments in store for you. And that's it for this video, catch you guys later.